Good everyone, my name is Graphics. Today we want to study another problem in Tangency, where we are going to replicate this figure. Right? Now, when you see a figure like this, first of all locate the circles, the complete circles in the figure. Right? Now we have 1, we have 2, and we have what? 3. We know very well it is easier when I start from here. So first of all, I will draw a horizontal line and a vertical line. So let's see how that goes. Using my set square, right, I'm going to draw an horizontal line this way. I'll draw a horizontal line this way, front line, right? And also, I'm going to draw a vertical line also. Is that again? Within my set square. And T square. Now this is what I have. Right, and they are meeting at this point here. That's the first thing you do. Now the next thing you do, if you look at your diagram again, this circle diameter is 32, so I need the radius of half of it. That is the half of the diameter is the radius, which is 16, to draw my circle. So I'll go on my meter rule and I'm going to measure 16, right? So place it here and I'll take it to 16. This 16 here. You can see that? So in doing that, I'll place it at this point, the center point, and I'm going to draw my circle. Is that again? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to draw the other one, which is what? Diameter of 50. And I need the radius of 25 to draw the other one. So I'll go to my meter rule. I'll measure half of 50, which is 25. This is what? 25. I put at the center here, and I'll draw a bigger one. Right? Now, the next thing I'll do here is this. I've successfully drawn these two, right? And I can just instantly start putting my diameter, because I knew that from this point, this one here is we have the radius of, diameter of what? 32, right? And the other big one has a diameter of 50, right? 50. Now we move forward. Now if you watch this from this distance, you see we have two circles, but where did they lie? They lie, the distance from them to this point here is what? 60, right? From here to here is 60, and on that 60 line, that is where these two circles lies. So I'm going to measure 60 from this point here. From 0 here, I'll measure 60 to this point here. All good? Then I'll draw my horizontal line. Your horizontal line with your T square. You draw your horizontal line this way. and you have something like this, faint line. So where they meet, this is where they meet. If you should check your diagram again, you discover that from this point where they meet, this point you have here is the same as this point here, right? So from here backward is 32, and from here forward is 40. So let's do that, 32 and 40. So I'll measure 32. So this is 0, 10, 20, 30, 31, 32 here. Is that taken? And I'm going to mark here. And 40 from here. This is 40 here. So this is the two different points. So at this point where both of them meet, I will draw an horizontal line and a vertical line here. Faint line first. You can see that. And I will move to this point. Also draw this faint line to show that what? There's a circle there. A center point. Now those two center points here and here is here and here. Now the question is, what is the diameter of those circles? Now we have 25 diameter, right? Two bosses. These are the two bosses here, and they're 25 diameter. So I need 12.5 radius. That means 25 divided by 2 give me 12.5 to get this circle and this circle. So I'll take my compass and I'm going to measure 12.5 from here. Right, from here to this point, this is 10, 11, 12.5 will be here, right? And I'm going to come here. I'll draw the first circle at this point. Right? I'll come here also. I'll draw a second circle at this point. Now, I've gotten those two circles, but still, I am told here that inside of it, we'll call it the drill. The diameter is 12, so I need 6 to get the radiuses. The radius will be 6. So I'm going to measure 6 on my meter rule from this point to this point. This is 6, right? And I'll place it here and I'll get my circle, right? At this point, I'm going to get this. Right, and I'll place it here also. I'll get this. That's what I have there. Now after doing that, I've gotten those 3 complete circles. Now it's for me to get the tangent. Now if you want to know what to do here, I have 2 circles. Now if you look at this very well, this is the radius. That means there's a bigger circle at this point here. If I want to follow up, you can see there's what? A bigger circle here. Now what happened? The circle I'm considering, they are what? They are external. Are we good? Since they are external, they are the external of this bigger circle. So you are going to add their radiuses. Right? External, or you can call it, for me, I just say it's like a hole, and when you have a porthole, you fill in. Whenever I say a porthole, means you want to what? Fill in. So when you are filling means you are adding, but you can easily say external circle means you add their radiuses. So how will I do that? The radius of 50 here, the radius of 50 diameter here is 25. 25 plus 70 will give us what? 95. So I'm going to measure 95 on my meter rule. I'll measure 95 on my meter rule this way, from 0 straight down to 95. This is 95 here, in between 9 and 10. You can see that. And I'll place it at this point. Let's confirm that again. From here, this point is 95. So I'm going to place it here, and I'll strike an arc at the side. You can see that. So if you check the other one also, here, the radius of this circle, we see is 25 diameter, so the radius will be 12.5. So 12.5 plus 70 will give us 82.5. So I'm going to measure 82.5. I'll measure 82.5 from this point. This is 80. This is 82. Enter here, right? And I'll place it at this point, and I'll draw an arc that will cut here. Is that taken? So where they meet, I can just place it at this point and take it, and maybe I'll measure my radius of what? 70. This 70, I'll measure it on my meter rule. So if I measure my meter rule like this, measure 70 on my meter rule. Then I'll come here and I'll draw my arc to be tangential, right? So in doing that, from this point to this point, that again. So we'll do that. So I'll just come here. I'll join them together. Right, so that's the first one. Now, most times you can just gauge it. So the next one is this. The next one is this here. Now if you look at this, if I should complete this circle here, I will have something like this, a bigger circle. This circle, a bigger one, as this big one here. We'll have a bigger circle, right? And what's happening? This two circle is inside that bigger circle. So we'll call it internal. So when the circle are internal, you're going to subtract the radiuses. Are you with me? Or, if you remember the layman way, this is like a big tummy. A big tummy. So people that have big tummy, they always want to have this, trying to reduce their tummy size. So reducing means what? You're subtracting. Right? So I will subtract this one here. So but you can just see internal circle, subtract all. The tummy is big, so I need to do my weight loss so that my tummy will reduce. So I'll subtract. So any of them, so I'll subtract. So we have the radius of this is 105. So I'll subtract it from the radius of these circles here, which is what? Half of 25, which is 12.5. So 12.5 minus 105 will be, so that will be 92.5. So I'm going to measure 92.5 on my meter rule. From here to here is 92.5 here. How good? 92.5. And I'll place it at this point, and I'll strike up here. I'll place it here also, since they are the same radiuses, and I'll also strike here up too. So where they meet, I'll take my compass to that point, right, and I'll draw a tangential mark here. You can see it? This is the tangent at that point. Now after that, The next thing you do is to draw this here, which is this arc here, and the radius is what? 16. So what I will do is I will draw a straight line from here downward, faint line first. So let's do that first. So with the help of my T-square and my set square, I can easily draw. So I'm using this my ruler in place of that. So when I place my T-square on my drawing board, then I will take my set square and just draw a horizontal line downward. You can see that. Now the next thing is, we said the radius of that circle is, of that arc is 16. So I'll measure 16 on my meter rule, and I'll draw. So let's measure it first of all. So I need to draw a line parallel to this line here. So drawing a line parallel to it from here to this point here is 16, right? So if I do that, I'll come to this point, any of this line here, I will draw an arc, or better still here, I'll draw an arc up. I'll come here also, I'll draw another arc here up, right? So I will join their apex, the highest point. So if I place it here where both of them are meeting, right? So I will draw this downward. Is that okay? So that's how you draw a parallel line. So you now measure, if you look at this arc here, you now measure your, if you look at this now, this circle here, as you're seeing, is, if I put it this way, this circle is external, right? If I complete it, is what? Is external. So when it's external, you are going to what? Add, right? Or you say this is like a pothole, you have to fill it to make it level. So you need to add. Any of them you can remember. So for external circle, you add. So it will be radius of 16 plus half of this diameter here, which is what? 12.5. That will be the radius of this. So 16 plus 12.5 will give us, we have 16 plus 12.5. That will give us 28.5. So I'm going to measure 28.5 on my meter rule. So I have 28.5. This is 20. This is 8.5. Right? So from here, I'll place it at the center point here, and I'll draw an arc that will cut that parallel line I drew. So where it cuts the parallel line, I'll place my compass there, and I'll gauge it like, or I'll measure radius 16. So if I measure it, it will get me to the point I really want. Right? So I can just do that. From this point here. So let's do that and see. Can you see that? So you can then make this thickened. You can thicken this. Is that again? So in doing that, I have replicated the diagram, but we are not done. We need to apply some of the line rules that for a center, for a symmetrical object, you use center lines. So I'm going to use my center line here. So I have a long one, a short one, long one, short one, and so on. Right? I'll do it for here also. A long one, short one, long one, short one, and so on. Also here also. Long one, short, and so on. Then I'll do the horizontal part also, which is this. Right? And here also I'll do the same thing. I have this. 2. I'll start inputting my dimensioning. So I can just come from here. We'll move from this point to this point from our diagram. Here to here is 32. And here is what? 40. Right? And also this is just 70. Right? And this is just 16. The distance from this point to this point here is 60. Right? So, and we know, we say we have 2 buses, diameter 25, and drill diameter 12. Right? So, as it is, this is what we have here. So if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.